the whole drama with the airlines. Every travesty or every like cluster, it's just an opportunity for something miraculous to happen. So, you know, I just knuckled down, focused on what was in front of me, and got out of the airport. I got back to Dubai. I went back to the same hotel, dropped some points or paid some cash that night. It's kind of a hassle booking at 2 in the morning because their system said they're full and online said they're full, but lo and behold, they had like dozens of empty rooms. So finally got booked in and ended up burning a bunch of points and staying an extra 2 nights and basically just chilled at the pool while I sorted out my new plan. And it sounds simple just to rebook or re-navigate, but when you're on a budget and you're hitting the budget flights and things like luggage will quadruple your quadruple your. Yeah, I'm gonna put you on blast now. Look, you're live on YouTube. Yeah, she wants to interrupt me. So anyway, I burned a bunch of points, and I was saying booking on a budget, things like luggage will quadruple or double the price of the airline flight, and then it's not going the right place at the right time, or you end up with like a 23-hour layover in, trying to edit him out, 23-hour layover in someplace like Beijing that you don't want for the cheap flight, right? So I found a good flight, and hopefully I'll get to Manila in time for tacos. So fingers crossed, I'll make Taco Tuesday in Philippines. And then the next Taco Tuesday will be next week in Tokyo, if everything goes to plan. So I still don't know what's going on with Expedia. The airline is adamant that they didn't get paid. So it is what it is. But check out this pool. So I got to tell you, it was a rough day sitting here for, rough couple days, having to sit here at this pool and enjoy the experience, right? So, and the main reason I made that video is not to get sympathy or anything like that. It's just to explain to people and show people in real time, how frustrating and, very consuming, encompassing, everything can kind of tumble down at once, and you'll have this great house of cards and a little flick from Expedia and it all falls apart. And then it's just a matter of how fast can you, clear the damage and rebuild the house of cards. So everything's worked out miraculously. Like, if I could have written a script, this would be the script. Joe Rogan has a clip that talks about, write the movie of your life and then go live it and write yourself as the hero. Well, I'm not the hero, but I'm definitely enjoying, this season of my life, even with those hiccups, even with those nasty things that happen. It's just, part of life. And the key is turning it around. And I was sitting here at the pool yesterday and having a conversation, and it was really just a blessing that brought me back here. I met this man from Saudi Arabia, and we were talking about all kinds of stuff that didn't make any sense. And then all of a sudden, it all just clicked. Like it made sense, but what I'm saying is the direction of the conversation was all over, right? It was just everywhere. And then all of a sudden, it just clicked, and it was like somebody scripted that conversation from the beginning to, give me some advice I've been needing to hear. So it's really strange. And the ironic thing is the conversation wasn't giving me the advice I needed to hear. It was opening my ears to the advice I needed to hear. It was, something totally off topic that I really feel like I needed to hear. And the conversation with this gentleman opened that up and let me see what I was missing, in another direction. So, when you just hang in there, I believe more and more, than I ever have, that things just work out. And the better attitude you approach negative things with, the better they turn out. So, again, I wasn't looking for sympathy. I was just trying to, be real about, what happens and, how are you going to deal with it if you're coming out here on the road or anywhere, right? That advice really applies to anybody. Anyway, thank you everybody who reached out, and I'll be grounded a little more in about 2 weeks and be a little more regular with some videos. Have a great day and enjoy life. If I can find the end button here.